is the voting today, but also of late the announcing or declaration of results. It is no longer automatic of late that, okay, if we've had the successful nominations, we've had successful campaigns, peaceful campaigns, free and fair campaigns, then we go to vote.
Right.
You don't sleep if you're a candidate on this day, because the voting can also be successful.
And the announcing of the election unsuccessful.
This final bit, the Baganda say, Okoye banyaga. So, what do I mean? Because His Excellency has ever said that opposition still votes. Opposition has ever chosen NRM of
vote rigging.
So, it means you have to be on your tenterhooks until we've seen election petitions. We've seen cases. Honorable Namere, they had rigged, they had stolen her votes. A recount proved she was the winner. So, it is up. Today we have two phases. How is the voting going to be? It's going to be, will people have their rights to exercise voting of the person they want in a free and fair manner? Has that been done? The observers will tick yes. Now, the tallying and the final declaration, will that be? Then we shall say, this is how by-elections. I'm not praying for any MP to die.
Yeah.
No, but this is how parliamentary by-elections will be held, should any in the 12th parliament go, because we've seen the first, how they have been.
Indeed. I almost asked you a question, but in a way I think I'm also getting the answer. I almost asked you, do you remember the Kawempe by-election last year? My goodness, the vigor, the fire that surrounded that particular by-election was immense and felt. And I was wondering why the same fire was not yet felt for Kalangala, but so far the answer I could figure out is the fact that it's in Kalangala. Perhaps in Kalangala now the intensity
yeah, we may not feel it.
We might not feel it because we're not there.
And also one thing is, I'm told by experts on water, not the professional ones, but experts on water, that these months where they have had this campaign and the elections are horrible. The lake is not very stable. So that could also have limited quite a number of people who would have wanted. They will tell you these months, that area, you don't joke with the waters. You know the bavubi, the fishermen have sayings. So many of them don't want to go.
Interesting.
And so that I think has also hindered many migrators. You know, our politics is very interesting. You find people from Kampala, guns camp in Karangal. In all political parties, I saw many NRM. Some are members in Masaka, some members in Wikwe, some are members in Kampala, all of them in Karangal. I saw those of opposition. Some are in Mukono, some are in northern Uganda. They all go camp and they are in Karangal. So I think the water thing has cut off some people, and there are some people who have phobia.
Interesting language. Nature speaks in its own self anyway. But that same story leads us to what we have on the local scene this morning.
Well, we begin with the Prime Minister, Robert Nabanja, who hit a common ground with music promoters in which government has agreed to implement the disbursement of the 7 billion shillings to their circle. Wow. This is part of the 10 billion shillings donated to the sector by the President, which has been delayed by issues of corruption and leadership gaps among the beneficiaries. The Prime Minister, Robert Nabanja, convened a stakeholders meeting with music promoters. The Prime Minister was flanked by the Minister for Local Government, Barambar Gahara, of Gender, Labour and Social Development, retired Lieutenant General Henry Tumukunde, and General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi of State for Trade. The meeting centered on the 10 billion shillings donation from the President to the music promoters, namely Uganda Music Promoters Circle, Uganda Bivulu Promoters Circle, and Kampala and Beyond Promoters Circle. So far, government has dispersed $3 billion. In the May resolution, it was agreed that the State House Anti-Corruption Unit revisits concerns of mismanagement. Government is holding the 7 billion shillings. The meeting sought to get a clear direction how the funds can be utilized. Government has committed to support the music and arts industry. After receiving commitment reports from all the 3 promoters circles, government has okayed the payment of the remaining funds. The Chief Magistrate's Court in Makindye denied bail to former Kampala Lord Mayor, opposition politician and lawyer Erias Lukwago, citing concerns that his release could interfere with ongoing investigations, thereby extending his stay on remand at Luzira Prison. The highly anticipated ruling, delivered electronically on June 23rd by Chief Magistrate Sarah Ann Basemera, ended days of anxiety among Lukwago's supporters and family. Lukwago did not appear physically in court for the electronic delivery of the ruling, following a previous tense session marked by heavy deployment of armed security personnel. Lukwago, 55, faces charges of misprision of treason contrary to Section 25 of the Penal Code Act. Prosecution alleges that he had prior knowledge of alleged treasonous plots involving retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye, Hajo Bedi Rutale, and Joel Wakaima and Frank Kihere Atkunda, but deliberately failed to notify state authorities. In her ruling, Chief Magistrate Basemere found no fault with Lukwago's sureties, noting that they satisfied the subsequently requirement under the law that guides bail, despite objections from the state. However, she held that the gravity of the offense and the incomplete status of investigations outweighed the application. She observed that the alleged acts span nearly 3 years and extend into Kenya, requiring a conscious approach to avoid interference with inquiries on Lukwago's medical condition. The magistrate acknowledged that Lukwago's alignments are genuine and documented, but ruled that there was no evidence that Luzira Prison had denied him medical care or specialized treatment. Lukwago returned to court on June 30th for formation of his case. A section of opposition political parties condemned the government's decision to deny Kenyan lawyer Martha Karua entry into Uganda and order her immediate deportation. Speaking during a joint press conference held at the office of the People's Front for Freedom in Katonga, the party's vice president for Uganda, Rume Maiga, called on the government to revise the entry ban imposed on Karua and return her communication gadgets. A section of opposition political parties, including the People's Front for Freedom, Uganda People's Congress, Democratic Front and People's Progressive Party, issued a joint statement condemning the government's decision to block senior counsel Martha Karua from entering Uganda. Karua arrived in the country on Monday but was denied entry and prevented from leaving Entebbe International Airport. The veteran lawyer and politician was subsequently deported and reportedly banned from returning to the country. The president of the Uganda People's Congress, Jimmy Akena, expressed concern over the incident, saying it undermines the spirit of regional cooperation and integration within the East African community. The deputy president for the Eastern Uganda in the Democratic Front, Pascal Amriat, and the chairperson of the People's Progressive Party, Saddam Gaira, also condemned the manner in which Dr. Kiza Besigye's lead counsel was deported. The opposition leaders also called upon the courts to consider granting Erias Lukwago bail on health grounds. The Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama called upon stakeholders in the Kalangala Parliamentary Woman MP by-election to be peaceful and ensure a violence-free election. However, during the harmonization meeting, the stakeholders tasked the security agencies to be neutral so as not to incite violence today. The Electoral Commission met the stakeholders in the Kalangala Parliamentary by-election, including the top NRM officials, NUP, security agencies, and electoral observers. During the meeting, there are calls for a peaceful election. However, during the harmonization meeting, the stakeholders tasked security agencies to be neutral and ensure they respond to anything once called upon, regardless of the side. The NRM Secretariat officials pledged to comply with set rules and expressed readiness to participate. Kalangala Parliamentary Woman by-election has 5 candidates, the race being tight between the NRM's Ida Nabaiga and NUP's Helen Nampala. And with the Kalangala story, we come to the end of our local stories this morning. Let's see what Julie has for us on the international scene.
All right, thank you very much, Robert. For that, looking at what we have on the international street, 40 people have drowned in heatwave-related deaths in France since Thursday. Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu has said as temperatures hit record levels in several major cities and the heatwave reaches a peak in several European countries. It's not something to be taken lightly, going swimming in unsupervised areas during a heatwave, Sports and Youth Minister Marina Ferrari told French radio. France, Spain and Italy have been hardest hit by the heatwave so far. France saw its hottest June day on record on Tuesday, reaching an average of 29.8 Celsius. Its hottest night was recorded on Monday, still at a minimum average of 21.6 Celsius, according to Meteo France, and more than half of the country is on red alert. Meanwhile, in Spain, temperatures are set to peak above 40 degrees Celsius in some areas, with red alerts in Andalusia in the south and Cantabria in the Basque Country in the north. On the third day of the national heat wave, Spain is more exposed to the effects of climate change than almost any other European country. State Weather Service AMET says June heat waves are becoming increasingly common, with 10 recorded in mainland Spain between 2000 and 2025 and just 2 in the previous 25 years. Now moving on, U.S. Congressman Dan Goldman has been defeated in a New York primary election, capping a clean sweep for candidates backed by New York's Democratic Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani as he speaks to tilt the Democratic Party to the left. Goldman was beaten by left-wing challenger Brad Lander in New York's 10th Congressional District in a contest that laid bare the party's divisions over the Israel-Gaza war. Lander has accused Israel of genocide in Gaza. Goldman, a two-term incumbent, was backed by pro-Israel groups. 2 other candidates, both Democratic Socialists, endorsed by Mamdani, won their primary races on Tuesday in a boost for the party's left wing in America's largest city. Assemblywoman Claire Valdez unseated Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso in the 7th District. Darileza Avila Chevlia, a doctoral student who was joined pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University, won her race in New York's 13th District. Lander, who was also endorsed by Vermont's Democratic Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders, easily beat Goldman by 65.7% to 34.1%, with most votes counted. Now looking at the continent, more than a year after the death of Zambia's former president Edgar Lungu, his family has won their appeal to have his body buried in South Africa, where he died, overturning a high court ruling that allowed the Zambian government to repatriate the corpse. Tuesday's Supreme Court of Appeal judgment finally puts to rest the legal battle over what should happen to his remains following a long-standing feud between Lungu and his successor, President Hakainde Hichilema. The Zambian government has said while it disagrees with the ruling, it will not be taking the matter any further. It had long argued that as a former head of state, Lungu should be honored in the country. The Zambian government wished to see him laid to rest alongside his predecessors in the special presidential burial ground in the capital, Lusaka. But Lungu's family wanted a private burial after negotiations with the government over the funeral arrangements broke down. The very ritual intended to bring closure has instead pitted family against the state in a hard-fought legal dispute far from the protagonist's home, said Justice Raylene May Kate Lee in Tuesday's judgment. Interesting story that is, but it brings us to the end of what we have on the global scene this morning. Let's take a quick dive into what the dailies have this morning. Robert.
Elsie polls over 42,400 jobs up for grab. Commission starts recruiting polling officers. Now there are jobs there. Government gives student loan defaulters ultimatum. And beheaded child, parents not informed of conviction. Now Kalangala votes women MP today. And how 13 trillion education budget will be shared. Lukwago court directs his taken to Murago. And we have Dutch envoy Hells, that's Vision Group for Transforming Journalism. Now still moving on to the Daily Monitor. Raped, defiled and abandoned. Why court denied Lukwago bail? And still in the Daily Monitor this morning, pregnant teenagers registered at Kawempe Hospital. They promised aviation academy, flopped. Now what to build? Now want to build an airport. Judy. They promised aviation academy, flopped. Now want to build an airport. Who are those? Well, the Daily Monitor has more of that. Looking for what Julie's friend is talking about today, and that is the lizard. Says many can't afford helicopters. Now how, well, it's not very clear here, helicopters will solve Kampala's traffic jam. How helicopters will solve Kampala's traffic jam? One says many can't afford helicopters. Now for you,
looking at the purpose of relatability.
Now,
sometimes many Futsubish instead of even
with
using
this construction of not even skyscrapers, but the way you construct our buildings in Kampala, helicopters will have to move through the skies. Now, want to see, you know, we are prone to accidents in NFO. You think of the quality of helicopters, we have the best quality, then those that will, the pilots will have the best. Then away from that, our skies are messy.
But even affordability and that. Anyways, a quick look at what the rest of East Africa has. We're looking at the citizen in Tanzania. Government defends 62.3 trillion plan after heated debate. That's the headline on there. And noise war calls growth for tougher licenses, tighter monitoring, and the end of cash era. Tanzania weighs a fully digital economy. How Zanzibar VP hemmed calmed union controversy. And looking at the Daily Nation representing Kenya, Gen Z protest divide. That's the headline. And single women wear wedding rings to ward off unwanted men. Interesting. And Sifuna weighs options as Oburu faction turns the heat in ODM. This brings us to the end of what updates we carry with us this morning, and allow us use this opportunity to also celebrate someone who has their birthday today, and that is Mama Janet Kataha Museveni.
Oh.
She's celebrating her 78th birthday today, 24th of June. Yes.
I miss Mama.
Yes, indeed.
I've taken long to see
Indeed,
Mama.
Mrs. Patience Rabogo took to her Instagram to say that she thanked God for the miracle of Mama's life.
We do thank God.
Yes,
we do thank
and indeed thanking God for allowing her make 78 years around the sun. Happy birthday to you, Mama Janet.
You know, Mama is a very good
70.
counselor to married people and women. I remember one time when she talked about let them be.
At her anniversary.
At her
wedding
anniversary.
Yeah.
Because today many families are breaking up because women don't know how to handle men right.
Right. Let's have a short break. We'll be back with another conversation. Just make sure that you save the number 0709 602592 and engage in the conversation that we're having in just a bit right after this short break. Good morning. A very good morning to you. It's the 24th day of June 2026, the day that those of Kalangala district are going to the polls for a by-election of the district woman MP. As you may see, we are here to give you all the updates as they unravel. I'm looking forward to the day and the result of this particular election and what precedents it will set moving forward. But for now, good morning. It's a Wednesday, midweek it is. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Robert, good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Julie. Of course, we are all eager to know what will come out of Kalangala by election as they go to the polls to elect their district woman member of parliament following the death of Helen Nachimuli, who was elected and later passed on. Now, this is going to be the first parliamentary by-election in the 12th parliament. How it is handled, because an election has a process. Campaigns, nomination. We've seen where nominations also become a problem. But now we had the nominations, we've seen the campaigns. Now the climax is the voting today, but also of late the announcing or declaration of results. It is no longer automatic of late that, okay, if we've had the successful nominations, we've had successful campaigns, peaceful, I mean, campaigns, free and fair campaigns, then we go to vote.
Right.
You don't sleep if you're a candidate on this day, because the voting can also be successful.
And the announcing of the election unsuccessful.
This final bit, the Baganda say, Okoye Banyaga. So, what do I mean? Because His Excellency has ever said that opposition still votes. Opposition has ever accused of vote rigging. So, it means you have to be on your tenterhooks until that. We've seen election petitions. We've seen cases, Honorable
Pick of the UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. it's even harder to lose weight? Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth. New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
The World Football Spectacle is here! From the vibrant cities of Canada, the passion of Mexico, and the grand stages of the United States, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to ignite the planet. Every goal, every save, every moment of glory, live and unforgettable on UBC TV and all its radio stations.
From the streets of Rio to the night and day.
Follow Africa's finest, football's biggest stars, and the battle for the most converted trophy in world football. Where legends rise, dreams come alive, and history is made. UBC is your home of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Stay tuned to UBC TV and all UBC's radio stations, bringing the world to Uganda, one match at a time.
A very good morning to you this Wednesday. Welcome to the show. In case you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. And in case you started the show with us, thank you very much. It means a lot that you take the time off to choose us. We do not take that for granted. This is UBC TV, here to inspire Uganda. And it's time for the real on Good Morning Uganda. And this morning we are looking at food labels. Now, the Ministry of Health has approved a new nutrition profile model aimed at raising awareness about the nutritional content of the foods people consume. This comes at a time when the country is grappling a rise in non-communicable diseases among both young people and adults. And according to a nationwide survey by Makerere University's Department of Food Technology and Nutrition, a significant percentage of foods the Ugandan market contains is dangerous and high with high levels of sugar, salt and trans fats, and these risks could be reduced with front of pack warning labels if made mandatory and enabling consumers to make more informed choices. So we do ask you a question, dear Ugandan. In your view, in your honest view, are Ugandans concerned on the labels of the foods they consume? When one goes to a supermarket, are you really concerned on the labels of the food that you consume? Do let us know. 0709 602 592. That is the WhatsApp number to which you can engage. And also at UBC TV Uganda on X, and the hashtag is UBCGMU. Robert, just for us to start off this conversation, looking at labels on food packs, especially in supermarkets. These are not things you might easily find in Onakasiro, but in supermarkets. Do you think Ugandans actually take time to read labels?
A big no. A big no.
People just pack off the shelf into the trolley.
What Ugandans sometimes look at, majority of them are prices.
Mostly, yes.
That's the way they will tell you in this supermarket, this is at this cost, this is at this cost. They know. Are you aware a number of Ugandans, you know, some supermarkets, not all, please don't get me wrong, some supermarkets, when goods are nearing expiry dates, they put them on promotion.
Yes, true. That's very true.
I don't know if that is how supermarkets work, but I've said some. I've seen it. I'm a dog breeder.
And most of
But
them,
one of the things I buy in bulk, and by God's grace they have never had complications, is dog feed. Most of the supermarkets here, once the dog feed is about to expire, a month or two, something that was about 86, I buy it at 20,000. So it's an opportunity for me to go and stock packs and packs of food. But coming back to human consumption, you're going to find that many Ugandans don't read content of what they are buying. A few, and I want to use strictly a few. I've not done research, but I can even put it at 1%. Check expiry dates. Then some may check flavors, for example, flavored drinks or booze to analyze this ginger, is this whatever. But checking content, that proteins at this level, this is at this level, What moves us is price and
flavor.
a few price, flavor, then a few we go for expiry dates. We check expiry dates. But where there are promotions, we don't want to know. And these supermarkets have, you hear price of this cut from this to this. And when you tell someone, excuse me, these things are going to expire in a month's time or 2 months' time, but you're buying in bulk for stocking, how are you going to consume them within that period of time?
Right.
Now, this Ugandan who has come to buy in bulk is taking things that are expiring within a period of 1 month, but his plan is to stock them
For a year.
for a year
Or 6 months.
or 6 months.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, Robert, where are you? Are you aware of this supermarket? Buses a bay come, hurry, 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 well stock. People have gone, there are many. And actually, when you reach there, Ugandans that have learned of that, there are many, there's even a light. I have a friend of mine, I don't want to use human beings, let me use the dogs. Now, he's a dog breeder, he has about 40 dogs. Now, this feed is expiring in 1 month. He bought, you know, these tukutuku?
Right.
2 of them and stocked. So I asked him, okay, you're a serious breeder, but in which period do you expect to use this food? He says, this can take me for the next 6 months.
Wow.
But you're going to feed your dogs 1 month, these are going to expire. So the remaining months. Then he says, no, whites are very wise people. When they put it's expiring in June, they're very sure that food has about 4 months to go. Now we go to tinned foods. I've seen tinned foods bound to expire, and then they are put on a discount. Free offers, discount, discount. And we rush for them. You have seen candy, you know, when I've seen tomato sauce. I've seen, there is so much. So Ugandans, you want price and also cost. So this is a warning. Don't rush to buy these goodies put on discount that are consumable, eatable, eats and drinks. Because most of the times, these people don't want this stock to expire. So they just have to throw it away. So what they do, they want you to come and buy, and you're going to buy a lot, so it expires in your shelves and you consume it.
Sad story indeed. And looking at a bit of statistics that well, these foods which are high in sugar, salt, fats, and of course when they expire, God knows what it means. But looking at the statistics, non-communicable diseases account for roughly 33 to 36% of all annual deaths in Uganda, driven largely by overconsumption of ultra-processed foods in high in sugar, salt, and saturated fats. But premature mortality, a Ugandan citizen has a 22% probability of dying prematurely. That is between the age of 30 to 69 from major non-communicable diseases, all coming from foods that are high in fats, salts, sugar, and of course mostly bought off of the shelf of a supermarket. And with this idea that the Ministry of Health is fronting to introduce, that have as a mandate for every manufacturer, have a front of pack warning label. Do you think that actually Ugandans will read it anyways? It could be a mandate for manufacturers and it could be there. But will Ugandans read it? But therein, the Ugandans also know how to interpret, because it's easy. I will say it's easy to interpret, what are they called? Expiry dates. It's easy to tell. But things like fat percentage, calcium percentage, nutrition percentage, those labels usually are there. But you're even wondering which is which. 1%, which is good, which is bad, which is... You sort of don't have the scientific... I think if it's calling for a warning, it will be this soda or this drink contains high salts or high sugars, which can be a risk to your life. Now, we smoke in Uganda. People smoke. Right.
Many men have ever smoked at a certain time, and some remain smoking, which is okay if you choose to. No one is charging you of any offense, as long as you don't do it in public. Now, I don't know of a cigarette label I've come across that doesn't have cigarette smoking is dangerous
to your health
and can lead to cancer.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
We passed through this by the grace of God. We left. Now, you would go and buy Benson and Hedges. That one was not so very common. Of course, I think it was imported. Now, you'd go for Dunhill, Switch, what? They have flavors, Julie. And you know, and you'd feel cool. If someone comes to your hostel room and there's Dunhill, there's Benson and Edges.
You look rich.
You look rich. Benson and Edges wasn't for everybody, my dear. So, but each of these has that pack, has that warning. There is even a picture of rotten lungs.
On the pack?
Yes.
Interesting.
Some have a picture of rotten lungs. But guess what? Would consume it happily and move with heads high.
One would argue that maybe some of the products like cigars or cigarettes are one of the rare products. One, of course, I think they are quite costly. You consume because you really, really want it, not because you need it, right? But for foods, one would look at the labeling. Yes, you've bought, say, potato crisps or Pringles or things like that that we usually consume. And this is a food. Sometimes many times you buy because sometimes you're extremely hungry and you just want something, some form of sugar.
But there is a warning.
Yeah, but then
these contain high salts that can be dangerous to your health.
Yes, yes.
And can lead to this number of non-communicable diseases. Let me tell you, that may not stop a Ugandan from taking it, as long as it is cheaper than what doesn't. Let me give you an example. We have Coca-Cola has two types of Coke. I'm not good with beverages, but I think there's one that contains sugar.
There's zero.
And then there's zero.
Yeah.
The safest to take would be zero. Not so? But how many Ugandans are taking the zero?
Few.
Very few. When I go to the fridges where I buy drinks for the little ones, where if I found today that there are 20 bottles of this one that is not Coke Zero, and then there are 20 bottles of Coke Zero, these will be finished while Coke Zero is still there.
It's interesting though that they taste the same, so I wonder why people wouldn't still consume Coke Zero.
You get it? So, Ugandans, we do not, let's first accept that we do not mind so much of our health unless we develop diseases.
That's when you start minding.
Unless age is kicking in. They're like, Robert, now you should leave sugar. Okay, why that weight anytime? So and so, just out of the blue died, and when they checked, he had a clot, this. Then say, okay. When we are aging, when we are sick, and the doctors tell us, then you start wondering. But in the early stages, someone will tell you, as healthy as I am, did so-and-so die from taking so much soda?
Or some say those who lived healthy still died.
Still died. So we need the Food Science Department of Makerere University. Professor Dr. Mukisa Ivan, you need money to carry out sensitization. Ministry of Health, you need money to carry out sensitization to people to appreciate eating healthy. People to appreciate what are dangers that occur from eating. Because it's not only about food security, it goes to food safety as well. Because food security is when you have enough food or enough to eat. Now I want to look at how safe is what you're eating. Because if what you're eating is not safe, then it becomes poison to your body, and over a period of time, you're going to get this disease. I think this is what Ministry of Health was trying to avert. That let's warn them that these crisps, that this soda, that this canned or tinned food, I used to like them so very much. These French beans tinned, they are so... Let's warn them.
Processed juices.
Processed juices. That what you're taking, there is a warning. So there is another one that doesn't have that warning. But this one that has the warning, please, if you're taking it, know you're endangering yourself, or better, avoid it.
Right. Now, we are going to look at the marketing restrictions, how those in business might receive this. But for you to be part of the conversation, in your view, are Ugandans concerned on the labels of the foods they consume? Do share your opinion. 0709-602, send a WhatsApp message. But you can also engage our X-handle at UBC TV Uganda, and the hashtag is UBCGM. You do share your opinion on there. Allow me read a couple of the comments coming through. Good morning, Uganda. Ugandans don't really mind about the labeling. Some just look at the color for purchasing items. Even expiry dates don't matter to many, though this would be good for our society. And good morning to you. The economic situation in Uganda can't favor us to mind labels. We're very poor and always very stressed. According to my understanding, the truth is that our current leadership has failed to handle the issue of economic policy very well. Tell them to call me for help. I'm a patriot and ready to advise them, please. I'm Katwesi Johnson, presidential aspirant 2031 and around Kaboa. Now, the earlier the better. Thank you, Katwesi, for being part of the conversation. Robert, let's look at the marketing restrictions. How do you think this might be best received by the business community? Is it taking business? Is it reducing business? Shall people stay in business?
Now, staying in business is two-way. First, a brand that has existed for a long time. Then second, a brand that is coming on market. There are brands that have existed for a long time, and believe you me, no matter what is put there, they'll still thrive. I am aware that up to today, there are many people, every petrol station, they call it Shell.
Yeah, true.
Take up Shell. It is a brand that no matter what people believe, they have their best fuel. It's a brand. Are you aware? Okay, they may think I'm advertising for them. Let me just leave that. Now, a brand that has been around and used over a time. There is a Colgate toothpaste.
Even if it's another brand.
So we have those brands that putting on a warning because people have used them over a time will not affect them. It will not. The strong brands, it will not affect them in any way. Now, these brands that have been there striving, not making it up, they may lose. Now, we also have new brands. New brands. One, Ugandans sometimes get excited over new things. But remember, if a new brand comes with a warning on market, that is already a disadvantage to it. People will tell you, no, I look at women's cosmetics.
Yeah.
There is some, I've forgotten, is it lead? Some element that was seen in some of these
Carolite.
Carolites and all that. I want to tell you, many who are used to those brands, even after, still use them. And UNBS is having a tough time because traders will sneak them in because they are selling. So it will affect new brands, but those existing brands that have lived up a period of time, if, for example, and this is just an example, not saying it is what it is, there are some snacks that children are used to. Goritos, what. Even if you put that there because they have tasted it for a long time, they'll still consume it. And parents will also be comfortable. They have eaten them. What is? But if you are a new brand coming on and you have to advertise and put that disclaimer on that, well, you're taking this, but remember it has risks. You may be affected. But also the other question is, how many companies, how many Ugandans will adhere to this? I am aware today, let me even whisper this, with the National Bureau of Standards, we still have very many consumables in this country that don't have the Q mark. Someone begins his business, foods, beverages, they on market, everyone is buying them without satisfaction by or verification by the national body mandated to look through and approve what you're giving to Ugandans. And they're on shelves of supermarkets.
And now allow me even, as we begin to close this, share some of the examples of the foods that contribute to Uganda's unhealthy diets. And some of them, if you look at them, you realize that those that are healthy are rather extremely expensive. for Ugandans, and Ugandans still have no choice. Even with the labels, they'll still consume something unhealthy in the name of, well, it's what we can afford. But some of the foods, common foods that are very unhealthy, that we always consume every now and again, there's biscuits, cakes, pastries all together, but also instant noodles, deep fried snacks, all of those in there, looking at sodas, energy drinks, heavily sweetened packet juices, also in that category, looking at refined cooking oils and fats, you know. These are things that are sold very cheaply. You will find that a healthy cooking oil actually costs quite an arm and a leg compared to refined cooking oil. And all of these are things that we are exposed to every now and again. What solutions do you think, Robert, as we begin to close, can therefore be handled or be incorporated into this for food protection? But allow me first to read this one comment. Good morning. Thank you for the show. I'm Muslim Wamboba, live in Manafwa. We, us here in Uganda, we are not concerned of reading labels, but we look for survival. What killed Mandela and Michael Jackson was food labels. Interesting. Interesting perspective there. Robert, what solutions do you think we have?
One, create awareness. Create awareness amongst Ugandans to know that it's not only about price, but what you consume today may be the poison that will lead you to your grave. So that when Ugandans are aware, and I'm happy today there is a class of Ugandans that have become very sensitive regarding what they eat. I've ever gone out for a buffet and I asked quite a number of men, you people, what I saw on your plate, I see vegetables, I see this, and they are very conscious. They'll tell you, Robert, you don't this and this and this. So when we create that awareness, a person will go in a supermarket, look at the expiry date, look out for those warnings and leave those products. It is awareness, but I don't see anything else.
How about government intervening in line with the costs? Because if we look at things like refined cooking oil, it's obviously unhealthy. But it's what's available for people's pockets. That which is healthy is usually costly. For example, olive oil, you'll find that just a small bottle, glass bottle, costs like what, 15,000 or 20K. Who would spend 20,000 every now and again or every weekend?
Let me give you another example. There is where I buy what I use. It's called the organic market. Around American Embassy, at the back of American Embassy, there is a market, organic market. What is grown there, what we buy there, sorry, is grown organically. No chemicals, no nothing. Now, the cost of what we buy there is slightly high. And good things come with a price. If it's going to take this person to have that oil, the process and what, it must go divided with price. What I think government could do, that sometimes I behave like Maria Antoinette when saying it, is make these expensive by adding tax on them, so that they are the substitute to what is good in terms of price. They are almost the same. If the olive oil you talked about, this is 15. Now you government, what you do, you tax where I would get a huge bottle and it's 15. Now what will happen? A Ugandan will not go because of price, because the difference may either be slight. Okay, if this one is 15, maybe this is about 13, and then a Ugandan knows, but this is even more healthier. Or it's healthier compared to this one. So government in this struggle, and I know when I talk about taxation, this would be good. But remember also, we don't want to have people who eat boiled things, not by choice or health reasons, but because it is what they can afford.
Thank you very much, Robert. We bring this conversation to a close, but it does continue on our X handle at UBC TV Uganda. So head over there and
visit
just
Judy and
type.
But Judy, here we are so mindful of our health. We boil things, yet it is.
Up next is JMU Tourism Express. So Robert is coming back with business, and I'll be back with the agenda. Good morning.
exercise can't be sustained. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skill, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. Economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sun's colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obe's second, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
here with a question. How do we respond to the biodiversity laws with the urgency and intelligence it demands? As we live here today, we have something more valuable than answers. We live with commitments.
Your work has enabled us to receive quality work from which we are picking lessons and recommendations to implement in the future.
Over the past few days, you have brought our theme, Biodiversity Under Threat, to life.
It's our prayer that you keep up the spirit, because we are seeing it's a very good platform for us to come together and share information about biodiversity research and conservation in Uganda.
Academic institutions are called upon to translate research findings into evidence-based policy advocacy, participating in ongoing dialogue with government and conservation agencies to provide the evidence necessary for the continual refinement of wildlife management and practices.
Allow me to sincerely thank all of you for your active participation in the National Biodiversity Research Symposium 2026.
It's my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the National Biodiversity and Conservation Research Symposium 2026. This is the first kind where we are doing a synergy, the two agencies. We gather here under a timely and important theme, biodiversity under threat. We have been a witness to this, science, innovation, and collaborative responses.
And therefore I want to join my brother Baluku by calling upon a number of partners and people who would like to work with us. Come join us so that we can do research in our research estate, for us to be able to find data-driven and evidence-based decisions as well as solutions to the many challenges we have.
We are here to discuss biodiversity and its conservation. And biodiversity in its totality is looked at three basic levels: at the ecosystem level, at the species level, and also at the genetic level.
Science must come first, because without evidence, we are merely guessing. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, I now declare the National Biodiversity and Conservation Symposium 2026 officially opened.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't let's take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when take this product.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome to business, and we begin with DFCU Bank officially handed over upgraded sanitation facilities and enhanced patient waiting areas to the Mulago National Referral Hospital Sickle Cells Clinic. Now, coming just after International Sickle Cells Awareness Day, the handover marked the culmination of a multi-year journey that has seen the bank evolve from raising awareness to delivering concrete infrastructure improvements at the facility. Let's enjoy this one.
Be better and be healthier.
And by this extend kindness to us, to our patients. It's actually highly commendable. And specifically, they've helped us in renovating the restrooms where our patients feel comfortable by way of easing themselves in the event that nature calls. And that's quite commendable, because many times we overlook, as people, we overlook that aspect, but it is an important aspect that contributes towards people seeking to come. When you are in a public sector or service area, one of the key areas are the areas of convenience, and they should be made in a very nice way such that people feel comfortable to come and help themselves when nature calls.
Moving on, the Uganda Free Zone and Exports Promotion Authority convened a strategic awareness and capacity building workshop yesterday at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel to empower the nation's horticulture and exporters' knowledge under the theme Enhancing Compliance for Sustainable Access to the UK and the European Union Markets. The event brought together industry stakeholders to navigate the increasingly complex landscape of international trade. The workshop seeks to address several critical challenges facing Ugandan exporters, most notably the implementation of the UK Official Controls Regulations 2025, by focusing on key areas such as food safety standards, certification, and rigorous sanitary issues required. The initiative aims at reducing border interceptions and strengthen the global competitiveness of Ugandan agricultural products. Let's finalize by looking at this. Is what we had for you in business. We'll go for a break. When we return, Julie will be doing the agenda.
Of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
The World Football Spectacle is here! From the vibrant cities of Canada, the passion of Mexico, and the grand stages of the United States, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to ignite the planet. Every goal, every save, every moment of glory, live and unforgettable on UBC TV and all its radio stations.
From the streets of Rio to the night and day.
Follow Africa's finest, football's biggest stars, and the battle for the most converted trophy in world football. Where legends rise, dreams come alive, and history is made. UBC is the home of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Stay tuned to UBC TV and all UBC's radio stations, bringing the world to Uganda, one match at a time.